But before that, I just wanted to show you the system, that how it will work and what all areas we will cover from our demo system. Because when we talk about this, we will have this data wherein you will get all the access to these modules. Of course, it will not work like that. You need additional information and everything. But for Employee Central, especially how we will work. So this is our homepage of SuccessFactor. When we work on this, we will have that entire schedule uh, around SuccessFactor Employee Central, and one demo server you will be getting. When I say demo server means that demo server is just like your live system. When I say live means how you work on with a client or company, you can say. When I say that, okay, maybe let's say for an example, you're working for Coca-Cola. So how Coca-Cola want to set up their system, this is how their homepage will look like. Now you can say, I don't see Coca-Cola's brand name, logo, something. Can I do that? Of course you can. That's what we will do. So if you go to that course content, everything is mentioned there, that what all we will be covering. But for the system perspective, this will be your homepage. No matter where you go, which company you work for, you will be setting this up. These are called tiles and these are called sections. You create it. Why we do it, I will explain you. I will create it for you. I'll show you how to do it. And of course, there would be some assignments as well. So it's not like a one-way communication where I'm just showing you and you're trying to see these things. No, you will have to do each and everything. I go to the system. This is the home page from where you go directly to admin center. This admin center is only available to all the master admins, or you can say the consultants. They come to the system and they do all the changes that are required. Like for Employee Central, you go here and you make every change that is required for Employee Central. What is the use of these links? Of course, we'll talk about it when we start our full-fledged training. You must have seen when I clicked on it, there are a lot of other modules that shows. This is how your system looks like. Now, these are the different modules. If I show you that PPT, I'll show you that it shows that reporting has some other modules. Talent suite has their own. Where do you find it? That is here in your admin center itself. But will you get access to everything? Of course not. Why? Because every module is different and your company has to pay for it. So let's say you said, I want to go live with Employee Central only. You will have access to this part of employee files and anything that comes along with Employee Central, like maybe your reporting and analytics, maybe your time management, and these things. But if you say that I want to go to this goal management, that is goal, we call it objective as well. Performance management, you won't have it because you don't have license to it, and that license you have to purchase from SAP. Okay. Same goes with other, like you can see if I click on performance management right now, it shows me some links. I can work on it. But if I go to learning, it says learning has not been licensed for your company instance yet. Why? Because maybe I didn't purchase it. Unless I purchase it, I won't be able to access it. Okay, this is how our admin center works. Any changes, any system related data you have to create or do, you do it through admin center. So here you can see tool search, wherein you can go and search for any settings or any changes that you want to and make all those changes. Same goes here. So if I go back to home page, right setting, and it will throw every options which are available in the system. Now wherever you want to go and make any changes, you are free to go and do that. Okay, this is the email notification part. So that's a setting. Now again, go back to home page. And here, if I have to search for any user, you will go this. This is called global search. You go there and you can search for employees, any employee, anyone you name it, and you'll find it. Even if you don't know their name, if you have their employee IDs, you can do it. You can write their employee IDs. Like if I write 691110, if that's their employee ID, it will show up. And from here, you click on this, it directly takes you to user's profile, and there you can make any changes that you want. As an admin, as a consultant, or master admin, whatever you can say. You can go to action, take other actions that you want, like you want to give them spot bonus, especially managers do it, employee details, manage leave absence, blah, 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 everything, whatever your company has set up. Do we get this from SAP only? Of course, most of the things are provided by SAP based on best practices from market. When I say best practices, what does that mean? Every company who are running on HR, ERP, they will follow a set of process. Now you can say my company follows some other process, but ideally, if you see, there are not many changes between two companies. The processes are almost same, except few steps. Of course, your company might have some other requirements, so they can say, I need to add a particular step wherein, let's say, I wanted my HR to approve any data change, but at the same time, I want my manager also to approve it. That's a minute change. But if I ask you to make any changes to your employment data or personal detail, HR should be there. That is globally accepted. So, for instance, if I tell you that there is a girl who got married and she wants to change her name, last name, what do you do generally? So, if there is a thing, if somebody says I want to change my last name, what is the normal process? Generally, you can tell me. You either raise a request to your HR, or what you do, you directly go and change in the system. But with that, they always ask you a document, isn't it? Your
Yeah,
marriage
related
certificate.
document will be asked. Yes.
Correct. You say I want this job, I want this promotion because I have this many years of experience, and I also am certified in, let's say, project management, PMP. What they say, okay, I accept it, but you have to produce that document. So you have to assign that document or attach that document. So this is a general process, right? Wherever you go in this entire world, that will be a common practice or process everyone follows. That is called best practices. That almost every company or globally every company are using it. So based on their research, SAP, what they do, they tell you or provide you a set of process which are globally accepted. That is called best practices. Now they will show you the best practices. You will say, okay, that's perfect, but I want to add on few more steps into it. That is called customization. So based on that, you will receive it. And if there are some customization, you will create it. How do you create it? We will see when we do our training. That how you can create this file wherein you can go and add any detail like total experience, certification, whatever. You will see if they ask you that how many certification you have, so you can name all those certifications, their end date, start date. If you use LinkedIn, you might have seen if you go there and you update one certification, it always asks who issued it, when did you achieve it, and what is the expiry date, right? So all these can be done here also. We can customize it. Now you can see when I went to admin center, there was also a field wherein I can go and search for setting and all. Ask me why, if I have this shortcut here on the home page, why do I need to go here? Of course, you don't need to, but initially you should. Second thing, what is the difference? You go here, you can only check the system related information, not personal related information. Person related information. Like if I want to search for any users, I can't see that here because it specifically says tool search. But here, if you go search for action or people, if you want to take any action, you can go here and make. or change any detail for any user. So this is the minute difference from here. Okay. Then you will have your settings. You can go and personalize your data, which I'll show you when we start. But few things like you go to settings, you make every changes. You can change your password. How do you do that? What is start page? What is sub tab configuration? Each and everything I'll show you in detail from the scratch, of course. Well, these are the basic things that we will talk about, of course. But slowly and gradually, we will start moving towards the technical part. When I say technical, what does that mean? That how you set up this entire system. How do you make sure that when you go to the home page, you see these tiles? And what does these tiles show you? If I click on it, where it takes me, there are some tiles. If I click on them, they are opening here. Why? All these things we will be creating for ourselves by us. Now, if you say, okay, I want to hire somebody, that's quite normal. You go and you start hiring somebody. But when you say it, there are some informations which are specifically defined here. Like, I want to show you a display name. Maybe in India it works, but when you go to other countries like China, Singapore, Hong Kong, what they say, that's okay. That is there. I have an English name which should be here, but there are some native languages name, native name. I also want to add that. So that's why you will see if you're working for any, if you have worked for any Chinese firm or any global firm which includes China as well, what they will do, they will have this option wherein they keep their native language or native name as well. How do you do that? We can create some fields for that. How do we do that? Through our configuration. So when you start building your system, you make sure that these fields are already available whenever somebody is getting hired. Just like that, you keep on introducing all the fields and defining every field for each steps. Like if you go to your national ID and you choose United States, it automatically shows you what? Social security number. The moment you change the country, it changes the national ID card. You go to India, automatically changes everything, right? So these things, how does that happen? Because we do it. And how we will do it? That's what we'll learn from our training. Now, there are other things as well. When you apply any leave, you must have seen that every time you apply a leave, that goes to your manager for approval. If not manager, maybe it goes to your HR, anybody. How do you manage that? We create rules for it. There are some rules. Based on that rule only, your entire system runs. You go to your rule, you create it that if something happens, what will be the outcome of it? Like I say, that the job relationship type is HR. If your relationship type is HR manager, a document mapping rule result HRBP last name should be mandatory. That's quite difficult right now. It might sound, but it's just that I'm saying. Let's say I say that I want to change my last name. I went to the system. I triggered that event that I want to change my last name. Automatically, sometimes you'll see automatically system throws you an error that there is an attachment that is required. Correct? So where do we do that from? This is the area where we set up a rule that if somebody is changing their last name, an attachment is a mandatory field. We can create it through rule, and there are other things as well which we can do. So we will see that also. But of course, we will come to this once your basics are clear. I'm just showing that what all we can do from here. Now you can go to, let's say you say, okay, I have an organization wherein there are four departments already available: HR, finance, IT, and admin. Now, all of a sudden, there is another department, healthcare is added, and there are 10,000 employees all over the world. How would you tackle that? How would you make sure that everyone is available, everyone is, informed about this new department, and related people are now moved to the new department? So we'll see how we create departments. And that's not only for department, for other organizational units as well, organizational structure as well. You can go and create any department from there. Okay, it goes here and you can start creating it. You can set up your org structure. You can see company structure over here. From here, you can define all your data. Like for business view, how you can set up your system. This in the demo server. Arrow key to navigate. Okay, no problem. I'll do that. We have cost center department and all that stuff that is already there. So you can set up your structure that for finance company, if your company structure is based on finance, these are the data that will be available for that. So wherever you work on finance, you will see cost center departments and people are there. That goes for other things as well, like legal views there. So you click on it, legal entity cost center. So based on your requirement or client's data requirement, you can keep on changing these data. You can put your position data. You will set up your position information as well. What is position? Of course, that is very huge and time-taking process and step. I mean, topic. We will cover it in detail. Everything will be there. So this is how we will do that. This is how your system looks like. And for do we have any questions related to this? The way we will do our training and the system? Anyone?
No, sir.
No? Okay. Okay. Now, just brief about what we will do. These are the different modules we have. Uh, Anything. If you know a little about HR process, you will know about success factor. First of all, you don't have to worry about it. That's not a rocket science, I always say, because that's just another tool. Wherever you're working, I'm pretty much sure you're using a tool, be it your on-premises one or maybe other ERP, or if not, if you're, let's say, working for any manufacturing unit and there isn't any ERP, you don't have to worry about it. I'm sure you're using at least some manual work like Excel sheet or maybe any Word files, anything. If you have worked there and you have worked on a process, you know success factor. Trust me. All you have to learn is how to navigate in this system and how to create few things. That's it. So you don't have to worry about that. That's a cloud platform. How will I do that? Will I be able to understand? Of course you will, because that's just a system. The system runs on your process. So first we will try to understand everything with example like we just did for marriage certification certificate. And based on that, we'll try to learn the system because almost 60% things you already know how to work on HR process. So every HR process is a module here, a different module in SuccessFactor. If you talk about reportings, you will see all these workforce analytics, people analytics. you know, these things will be there. Workforce planning, these are the different modules you have. Then when you talk about talent suite, you have everything from there, like recruitment, onboarding, learning, performance, everything is there. And in your core module, you have your employee central and payroll. Okay. Now, this is something that we are, of course, moving from this on premises to cloud, because that's the need of the hour. Nobody is going to work on in the office all the time now. You now want to work on your mobile phone, and that is only possible through your cloud platform now. So yes, of course, that's what I generally say. That's not a choice for anyone. That's just a compulsion now. You can say that you have to have a cloud platform if you want to go big or survive in this environment. So this is how Employee Central important. Like you can see at the heart of the success factor, where every module is somehow dependent on Employee Central. That's why the importance of Employee Central is little higher, because you know the core module. When you work on core module, you actually work end to end the entire employee cycle. So when I say employee cycle, it includes everything. When you complete Employee Central, you almost know 10 to 30% of other systems as well, other modules as well. What it provides everything. As I said, the entire employee life cycle that start from your record keeping, position management, time, foundation, analytics, localization. The best part, I think I forgot it well yesterday. There are some part of AI as well SAP uses now. So if you're very tech friendly or tech savvy, you can say, okay, if I get into it, I would like to explore my skills, or I would like to learn about AI. You can very well do it here in reporting, in recruitment, in Employee Central. You can keep on using it. Integration, you feel like I want to get into integration. Employee Central is the part you can enter into it. So a lot of benefits are there from here. These are the topics, major topics I'm seeing, and you'll be able to relate to it. These are just topics. There are a lot of subtopics under it. We will complete each and everything. Okay. Now, these are the areas that we will cover. Hello. Anybody wants to say something? Okay. Yeah. So these are the areas when we do our training, we will cover technical, techno support, as well as the admin part. Yeah. This is the small
Okay.
overview that I showed you. Employee profile as well, security, because you will be the technical guy or consultant, you can say. Of course, the entire security will be set up by you. That who should have access to what, who can see what they can do in the system. Everything you will set up in the system. And that's why based on your role, you will have access to different parts. If you want to get certified, you that is the pattern SAP is following right now, wherein you will have to attempt 80 questions within 3 hours, and you will have to score a particular percentage in order to get certified in a particular module. This percentage will vary for each module. It's not constant for everyone, but this will change for every module. The name will be this. This is the code for Employee Central, and this is the level that you get. Okay? And
So
these are the
how
sub.
many attempts one person can give?
Sorry.
How many attempts one person can eligible for?
Uh, Okay,
Yes.
so you have to buy a certification hub access from SAP, which will be valid for 1 year. That costs somewhere between 40 to 45K Indian rupees, and you will have
Okay.
6 attempts that you will get.
Within
Now,
that year.
how that will work? 6 attempts, but that six
Within the
attempt
year.
is within a year. Yeah.
Okay.
So how it will work? 6 attempts means if you are able to complete or clear one exam at one go, you can go and complete six different exams.
Okay.
Getting me? So you, let's
Like
say you
other
said I
modules.
complete. Yes, you completed Employee Central at once, so you will have 5 attempts left. Now you can do 5 different modules now. But let's say somebody, unfortunately, they are not able to crack it. They will get 3 attempts at max for every module. So let's say somebody goes and say, okay, Employee Central I tried, I could not complete it in 3 attempts. Now you cannot attempt it. You will have to buy another certification hub access next year. Then only you will be eligible for this exam. So for
Okay.
one module, the maximum attempts are 3, but overall you get 6 attempts. Mhm.
Shown in the previous slide, the level is associate.
Correct.
So, what it mean actually? So, is there any other levels, or is there only certification available for all? I mean, based on the experience or non-experience like that.
So the first one will be associate. There is another one that is called manager level or management level. That is not something you have to appear for an exam. That is something given by your uh, client. So let's say I have, first of all, I have successfully implemented 3 projects of Employee Central. Now my clients will give me feedback that will be attached in a data that will be sent to SAP. They will review it, and they will then assign you that master certification. Very few people go for that because you don't need it, because there isn't any much change, aren't any changes in that. Anyhow, the associate is the one that works fine. You will get access to provisioning, you will get access to all the technical stuff. So that is more than enough. But yes, if you feel like I have spent a lot of time here and I want that, you can go and apply for that. But for that, you don't have to sit for any exam. You just have to implement 3 successful projects for Employee Central or any module for that matter. Any other questions from this? Because these are the topics, as I told you, we will complete and talk about everything in detail. Anything from anyone? Not regarding Employee Central or training itself. If you have any questions regarding SAP, you can go ahead. I'll try to answer it.
Sir, how is the current market for the SAP success factor? The opportunities like within India or like abroad, where actually the better opportunities are?
You just do one thing, just write SuccessFactors certified consultant in your resume and upload it on Naukri. You'll see it. It's huge. I mean, just because of the cloud
Okay.
access,
Mm-hmm.
everybody in this world is going bonker about cloud platforms, and especially for SuccessFactor. Why? Because that is SAP product, and SAP
Right.
has its presence everywhere. You talk about sales, IT, marketing, HR, finance, everywhere you will find SAP. So they have market share at the top. So what happens? Every company who works with SAP, they generally prefer SuccessFactor because that becomes very cost effective and very user friendly as well. You can customize it anytime. Second, when you talk about India and abroad, most of the European countries, Asian countries, and Australian continents, they are going after SuccessFactor like anything. UAE, you just put your SuccessFactor credentials in your resume and upload it on Gulf, Naukri, or anywhere. You will see entire
Right.
UAE is after SuccessFactor right now. There is a very good competition from Workday for SuccessFactor in USA. So always you will always see they always play first and second position in USA, but only in USA. Workday, they still don't have office, concrete office or presence in India. Why? Because they feel they can't provide you that many customization yet as India required. So they haven't entered in Indian market yet. They're planning to, but they haven't because of the customization. And that's
Okay.
the reach of SuccessFactor. And don't think from one tool's perspective, because when you get into SAP, SuccessFactor, you get into SAP. Like maybe let's say you are coming from an IT background, and you say I moved into HR system, but my major perspective or motto is to get into technical integration or maybe AI or something. When you get into it, you get those opportunities. Why? As I told you, everything is related to success factor. Now you can explore your skills in the AI, HANA, development, system development. You go to work on LMS or some other modules like HANA and all. You will start working on coding and stuff, SQL and
Right.
everything. So that's up to you. You are very good with data. You're very good with Excel. You feel like no, this is not my cup of tea. But when you get into it, you will have other modules like workforce analytics, people analytics, SAP Analytical Cloud, which is totally based on AI. So you can learn a lot about it. But of course, you have to make that step, take that
Right.
step, and get into it somewhere.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
So in workforce analytical module,
Mm-hmm.
um, I just saw a couple of certification in SAP website or the
Mm-hmm.
training
Mm-hmm.
page. They says like workforce analytical and planning functional consultant, workforce analytical technical consultant.
Correct.
Um, so people analytics, all this analytical topic comes under one single module or different.
No, everything is different. Workforce analytics is different. People analytics is different. Workforce has two, as you all rightly mentioned, that there is one
Functional
functional
and
one,
technical.
technical one. That is also different. People
Okay.
analytics is different. SAP analytical cloud is different. All these are different, and they have their own role.
Okay, and how about the SAP? I mean, SuccessFactor full cloud core hybrid. What is all about? Is that
That's
is that?
mhm.
Mhm.
That's again a different one, especially that is helped in your service part. Like I mentioned that I have worked on Service Cloud, which is a ticketing tool. So
Mhm.
hybrid or hybrids you use for the service area, like raising a ticket, HR ticket, or
Mhm.
maybe sales, support tickets. These things comes into the picture. Especially these are come in your manufacturing or in transport data when you work for a transport company. Mhm.
Like you
Yep,
told me, like you told us, like we need to purchase from SAP for like around it costs around like 45,000 for certification for the
correct.
examination. What you have told me.
Hmm.
See, I what my query is like if we clear this course, we do well in this course and whatever the assignments we do, so we get good opportunities only from this course, or is it mandatory like we have to purchase for certification as well?
As I mentioned yesterday also, that is one of the criteria few companies set, but it's not like
Okay,
every company wants certified people.
certificate.
And maybe you
Okay.
don't have to start with the technical one. You can start with support part. They don't need any certification. So let's say there is a company who implemented success factor in their organization, and they want people, because as a consultant what we do, we go to your organization, we implement it and leave it, right? After 6 8 months, once project is done, we will leave it. Now there would be a support team they need, who will be supporting the entire system throughout the life, you know whenever
Mm-hmm.
till the time they are using this system. So you can be a part of that, wherein you will be doing the same thing I am doing right now, except few technical part which comes along with that certification. That's it. Otherwise, rest everything you will be doing. So of course, your
Okay.
training will be helpful there, and also there is no foundation that you have to be certified. And I think I mentioned yesterday that there are people who are working for Big Fours as a consultant and they are not certified.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, I do
So
believe
it's
so.
not very mandatory everywhere, but having a certification, of course, helps you with a credential which of course stands your resume out of the queue.
Yes,
That's
yes.
the only thing.
Hmm. Okay.
I'm getting the certificate
Hmm.
on January of the year. So is that is there any validation period for that certificate? And in between, we they will be releasing the beta update
Delta
also,
version.
right?
Delta version. Yeah.
Delta version. Oh. So how it works? Say, for example, I'm getting the certification from SAP on January of the starting
Mhm.
of the year. So, is there any time period that I have to get into the job, or how it works?
Right. Very valid question. What happens? Every certification has a validation period for 6 months. Initially, it was quarterly because SAP was releasing new releases quarterly. Now, what they have done, they are doing it half yearly. So, what happens for first 6 months? Of course, that will be valid. So, let's say for an example, you completed your certification in January 2022 because the new release will be there initially in the year, right? Now that certification will of course be valid till June 2022. Now in June 2022 they will release the next release, the second one. But it's not like it will get obsoleted or it will be expired. You will again have that 6 months period because the new release has come up, and within 3 or 6 months you have to complete it. So the next release, whenever they ask you, before that you have to go and complete that Delta exam as well. Now, Delta exam is not a bigger chunk. There are only 5 to 10 questions, and the document is also provided by SCP. You can open a document and you can keep going with the exam simultaneously. So you don't have to study something else. That is very easy. But for that, you should have access to Learning Hub that is only provided by your consulting firm or your company. You can also buy it, but that is very costly. The basic part of Learning Hub comes, I think it charges you somewhere 1,20,000 or 25,000 for 1 year. That's why people always go for, they do their certification and they try to get into job as soon as possible.
So you're
But yeah,
saying, as an individual person, uh, if I'm enrolling into the update version of Delta
mhm,
from the SAP, that costs more
mhm,
than a lakh, right?
correct. Yes. I mean, maybe right now it's changed. Maybe it's a little higher, but that was the last time. That is the amount that I heard last time when I heard about it. But that is costly.
Sir, you mean
Okay.
to say the certification what we do, like after clearing the exam, that
Mhm.
certification is valid just for 6 months?
6 months, yes. You have to keep on updating it, or for just to keep it valid. If not, it will go invalid very soon after 6 months.
Okay, okay, okay.
Money making tactics, you know, that's
Then
only
what,
the thing I will say. Huh?